amino acid is.
That's proteins?
Pardon me?
Is this chapter with the proteins, right?
This is proteins, right? This is chapter 18. Okay. Maybe I'll... Well, let me draw it right here. An amino acid. All right. You've learned about carboxylic acids. You've learned about amines. So, amino acid, you've got a carbon here, and on this carbon you have a carboxylic acid. And on this carbon you have an amine. Same carbon. So that same carbon has a carboxylic acid, it has an amine, this is an amino acid. It has a hydrogen. And then it has something else. It's that last something else that distinguishes the 20 amino acids from each other. There are 20 amino acids. And they are called alpha amino acids. This is the alpha carbon. Here's your carboxylic acid. And earlier on in chapter 14 I said, okay, just be familiar with the fact that there is another naming system where rather than saying this is carbon number 1 and that's carbon number 2, we would start here and say this is the alpha carbon to that carboxylic acid, and then if we had more carbons it would be alpha, beta, gamma, delta. But these are alpha amino acids. All right, and that is the general structure of all of them. There are many of them, but only 20 of them are used by your body. 20. Now I'm going to hand this chapter 18 homework, and you can take a look at the back.
Professor, so you said that alpha carbon, it's 2 or just 1? The one in the middle or the one in the middle with the one in
This is the alpha carbon.
by itself?
That's the alpha carbon, yeah.
Is that PB?
No. This is, it's the first one after this. So we start
Oh, so you won't.
lettering them after this. So this is the first one. It's the alpha. It's alpha to that. Yes. Okay. Now, what I said, there are 20 amino acids that your body uses. You don't have to learn all 20 of them. These are the 6 I want you to learn. All right? And I'll just run through this real quickly, and you can highlight the slides if you got the slides in front of you, and you can go from there. This is the slide that introduces it. The 20 amino acids that your body needs to make proteins are put into 5 different classifications. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the classification has to do with what is that R group, what is the nature of that R group, since everything else is the same. There's a carboxylic acid, there's an amine, there's a hydrogen. The only difference is the R group. How do these R groups differ? Some of the R groups are nonpolar. Some of them are polar. Some of them are aromatic. Some of them have a positive charge on them, and some of them have a negative charge on them. So those are the 5 categories they fall into. So let's take a look at this category, nonpolar. All right, these are the nonpolar amino acids. Glycine. The R is another hydrogen. It's just another hydrogen. That's your first one on there, glycine. So let's not take the time to draw them out right now. If you want to scratch on these slides, alanine. The R group is a methyl group. That's pretty simple. So the R group's a methyl.
Are these the ones we need to put on our card?
This one and this one. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, here's your note cards right there. The back of your homework. These are the 6 that I expect you to, I could say, draw alanine. And so you should be able to draw alanine. All right, so this is category number 1, nonpolar. I'm going to just run through them. There's one from each category now in here on these 6. Polar. So how do you get a polar R group? Well, an alcohol is polar. So serine, threonine, cysteine. An SH group is polar, just like an OH group is. And this is the one for the polar group, cysteine. So this is one you should know.
And you said the SH group makes it polar?
Yeah, it's just like this is a polar bond and this is a polar bond. You can see it's right underneath the oxygen. So it's similar to an oxygen. The SH makes it polar. Aromatic. Put a benzene ring on there. And look at phenylalanine. So if we had a methyl right there, CH3, we took the hydrogen off and put a benzene ring, you have phenylalanine. That is an aromatic amino acid. And then lysine, positively charged amino acids. In addition to that amine, down here you have another amine. This is why this is a positively charged amino acid. It's got an NH2 that picks up a hydrogen, got an NH3 plus, lysine. That's an essential amino acid. You have to eat food with lysine in it. Your body can't make that amino acid. And then finally, negatively charged ones. In addition to the acid that's in every amino acid, this one has another one, or this one. This is glutamate or glutamic acid. Glutamic acid would just have a hydrogen right there. Without the hydrogen, with the hydrogen dissociating off of it, it's called glutamate. And those are the 6. Those are the 6 that I wanted to get these before you so that you could start learning these. You don't have to learn all 20, just these 6. Okay? Good. All right. Celebrate Memorial Day tomorrow, and we'll see you on Monday. All right? And we get to really breathe a sigh of release next weekend.
Looks like it.